What's up, guys? God's Elite here with another video on Overwatch, the beta. I did some reading since the last two videos and some playing, and I kind of understand how the game works now a little better. There's so many characters. Why there's so many characters? I know kind of how the maps work, the game modes, things like that. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Let's go in here real quick. So basically in the previous videos I showed you some of the heroes. There are a ton of heroes. And the reason that there are is they have certain, each hero does certain things. They all have different quirks and perks and things like that. Let's go to the hero gallery real quick. Where's my training? Let's go to the practice range real quick so I can show you everything. So basically you have offensive characters, defensive characters, tank characters, and support characters. And what's so important about all this is each team needs at least a couple of each of these if you want to be successful when you play. The game is set up, there's no campaign, nothing, it's totally online. This is totally for strategy players who want to, in my opinion, play with your friends or people you know that enjoy playing games in a strategic way. You want to set your team up in the best possible way that you are guaranteed victory. So in the game there are, right now, 12 maps, and certain maps, like there's 3 maps that are only assault maps. So assault game mode is attackers fight to capture a series of objectives. Defenders hold them off until the time runs out. So in that game, you've got to move down the map and capture these objectives while the other team is trying to fend you off until the end. Then you've got your next set of 3 maps, and they're escort. They're escort maps or escort missions. You have to escort a payload to a delivery point while defenders strive to keep the payload from reaching its destination before time elapses. I played that in my last video. You don't get to play both sides during the match to see who's better at it, but you get put on a random team, so you'll either put escorting or trying to keep the vehicle from getting to you or to the end of the map. It's still kind of fun though. But if you're on the team that's got an escort though, you're probably going to lose. Unless you're playing with a good team. Control is the next 3 maps, and they are 2 teams fight to hold a single objective at a time. The first team to win 2 rounds wins the match. So it's very similar to Hardpoint in Call of Duty if you play Call of Duty. And then the last 3 maps are assault escort maps. Attackers first capture a payload, then escort it to a destination. Defenders attempt to hold them back. That one in my mind is probably the coolest out of all 3 of them. So you get to do kind of everything in the game. You get to go capture the point, then you pick up a payload like you would when you escort the ship. You have to take it. So in my mind, that's probably the funnest thing to play, but it's random, so you can't pick what you're doing when you go into play in multiplayer. So next, let's see what we've got next. No. Where's it at? Oh, the loot system. I want to explain that. In my last video, I opened up a loot crate. There are no upgrades to your character as far as damage and things go from loot crates. All you get is cosmetic items, skins, things they say, maybe emotes. I noticed that when I was playing in the last video. I haven't used them yet. And then, let's see, yeah, you've got your different game modes. There's, like we played in the first time, the practice range, player versus practice, or play practice versus AI, which is where you play versus AI versions of these heroes here on screen. And you get to kind of experience the other players' abilities without having to worry about them being too hard if you want to put them on easy, or you can put them on hard. Quick play is what we did in the last video, where you just get put into a random match immediately and you just play however with whoever. There's not a lot of strategy involved when you get in because everybody's kind of probably picking their own favorite character. You've got custom game. You can play with your friends, make your own game. I showed that a little bit. You can pick the map, which is actually how you change the game mode. Because as we just discussed, each map has its own game mode. So that's how you kind of pick the game mode you play. Then you've got Weekly Brawl. Take part in experimental matches with rule sets that change each week. So that could probably be really fun. And then the last one, I don't think this was. Let me go back and. Well, no, I'll wait. I don't think this one's in the game yet, but it's called Challenger Competitive Play. Test your skills against other competitive players and climb the ranks when you win. In my mind, if anybody out there plays Destiny, I'm sorry, not LFG, The Division, games kind of like that, or any other strategy games, those playlists, the Challenger playlists, are going to be for the players who want to play a certain role and want to be a certain part of the team. As I discussed before, you've got your offensive players, defensive players, support players, and tank players. You want to make the best team possible for the game mode that you're playing, and I think that is going to be the section where you're going to need to find people, because the people playing in those are going to have either their friends or people they can play competitively with. It's not just going to be like a random game like Quick Play where you just matched up with some random people and you just play the game. So I think that one's going to be a lot harder. So if you've got a couple friends that love strategy games, jump into it. It's not really my kind of thing, but I can see why it would be a lot of fun for others. And then, okay, the heroes. Let's talk about that real quick. So if you look, like the section I'm in right now, these guys, if you look next to the set down there, over there by Genji, you see the little 3 bullets? That means offense. So all of these players are dealing all the damage. Now he's got all these throwing knives and all this other stuff, and the sword. He's got his guns, rockets. He's got his pistols. I can't remember. Oh, he's got his assault rifle, and she has. What does she have? I can't remember what she has. She's got her pulse pistols. The next set here that you see the little chest piece next to it. They're the defensive players. He can set up as a turret and defend. He can hang back and hit people with arrows. I think he's got bombs. She can freeze people, and so the big people over here on the offense can take them out. I haven't played as him. Oh yeah, he sets up turrets, so he can set up some turrets around the map to kind of get you some advantage, especially in the escort game mode. And then she Venom Mine. Okay, so she can set traps. I think these two set traps, or he sets a trap, she sets a trap, and those are your defensive players. They're gonna, kind of make the line where people can't get past. Then you've got your. Wait, no, I think I just got that wrong. Let me go back real quick and look at this page. Well, I'll go over here real quick. These are your support people. He can deploy health to certain people, I believe. Let me check his thing. Where's it at? Oh, yeah. All right, Crossfade, LB. Switches between 2 songs. Healing boost heals nearby allies, and speed boost makes nearby allies move faster. All of these things right here are going to have some sort of added help to your team. Oh, yeah, I got it. Let me finish the support first. She heals people, I think a good amount of people. Yeah. Resurrect, revive dead teammates. And then Caduceus Staff, hold to heal an enemy. Or, sorry, not enemy, ally. Hold to increase an ally's damage inflicted. Ooh, that'd actually be really good. And then give shields to an ally. And then, he throws these little balls out to heal people. Orb of Harmony. And then, where's it? Transcendence, become invulnerable and heal nearby enemies. That's going to be helpful. And then right here, this is your middle group, or your third group. This is the tanks. They are going to be the guys that soak up all the damage. You see she's got her big mech. He's a really big guy. They're all big guys. Tank heroes soak up damage and break apart fortified positions, like closely grouped enemies and nearby or narrow choke points. If you're a tank, you lead the charge. So basically, you want tanks in front, offense right behind them, defense setting up a perimeter, and support giving all the people the boosts. And as you can see, you can have 6 people on a team. I don't really know what the best thing of players would be. I'm assuming maybe, let's see, 2 tank, no, probably a tank, 2 assaults, a support, and 2 defense maybe. But I have no idea about stuff like this, so that's just a guess. So that's how that works. And then let's get into the heroes. Is there anything else I want to say about the heroes? Not really. I think that's about it. It's a full multiplayer game. I think this is all of the heroes. It probably isn't all the maps. I'm sure when the actual game comes out, they're going to have more maps, maybe more game modes. I hope so. Right now it's kind of lacking, but of course it's the beta. But that's how the game is set up. So in my opinion, to get the full benefit of playing, play with friends. I hope they're going to make an LFG type setup where you can find other competitive players, because in my opinion, playing games like this before, unless you're playing this competitively, it's probably going to get boring unless you like collecting the different skins for everybody and all that stuff. But for me, the joy for me would probably come from competitive with 5 other people that are wanting to set up a team that is built for victory, not just some random team of people that are just thrown together and they all want to play a tank. You know, what are you going to do? If everybody on the team likes playing this guy right here, you're going to get destroyed, because his ranged attacks are not very good. They're horrible, actually. I've used them. His hammer is great if you can get up close to a bunch of people, but other than that, it's going to be tough. If everybody enjoys playing this guy, you're going to have a bunch of turrets sitting around, and you're not going to get anything accomplished. If everybody's playing this dude, he's going to be getting wrecked by the other team with the tanks and the assault and the support. So this is definitely going to be a game where if you want to play competitively, it's going to be good. And the custom matches, I think, could be fun. If you just got a couple friends, you can throw some AI in there and set the game up how you want to. But that's how you play the game. That's what it's intended to be used for. That's what the characters are and how they're set up and how they're used in the game. I've told you about the game modes, the maps. I hope it's been beneficial and informational to you. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.
Our world